Hi guys, happy Easter. I want to make a quick video for you. Another YouTube member named Heather, her username is fishlayer1. She made a video recently that really touched me, and I was really proud of her for it. And it made me realize that this is a subject I haven't actually discussed. I don't think I've discussed it, at least not in at any length, but she was talking about the frustration of being told things that I guess are meant to be encouraging words from other people regarding trying to conceive and basically the process of it. And it made me realize I've built quite the coping mechanism for myself. I'm very private about it. I don't tell people. I don't talk to people about it. You know, of course, like my mother knows, my mother-in-law knows, my sister. My sister is one of the only people that I guess I really tell more to than anyone else. I very rarely even discuss it with my husband because really, when you're in the thick of it, there's two things that you can talk about. There's the facts and there's your feelings. And the facts are all that matter. And that's all anybody needs to know if you're going to tell anyone. Your feelings are yours. And that's where things get difficult. When other people have access to what you're feeling, and then they try and tell you basically that what you're feeling is wrong, or that you should stop feeling how you're feeling. So if you get too hopeful, there's people who will shoot you down and say, yeah, but you could have a miscarriage still. I don't know why people are like that, but they do. And then if you're not feeling hopeful enough, people will say things like, oh, it'll happen when you stop trying. I know so-and-so, and this is what happened to them. You're thinking about it too much. You're focused on it too much, whatever. And, you know, that might be true for some people. But if you have PCOS, you only have, at least I only have, and this is what I've discussed, my doctor has told me, that whenever I'm inseminated, I have a 10% chance that I will get pregnant. 10%. That means I'm that much less likely to get pregnant on my own, just with my husband, the old-fashioned way. So that doesn't sound very promising. And they're putting everything where it needs to go, you know, nature just has to do the rest. And now while I understand there are certain factors like stress that can prohibit you from being as fertile as you could be, it's really difficult when your whole life seems to be this one event. Because before being inseminated, most women have to have anywhere from 2 to 6 office visits to check their lining, check their uterus, check their follicle growth, see if they're ovulating or getting ready to ovulate. And then the actual visit itself where the procedure is done. It's a lot to do, and it's a lot of money to spend to ignore it, you know? And I think that I personally do a very good job of not thinking about it. I'm certainly not picking out paint colors for a nursery or buying baby clothes, but I'm also not stressing about it, and I'm not, so far I haven't been anyway. I'm not taking my temperature every day or doing anything too, I guess, involved, because I think that makes me feel that much more disappointed when it's over, if I've really let myself get into it, you know. One thing I allow myself to do is I do allow myself to take a pregnancy test before my beta test, because I'm way less disappointed for some reason. I feel way better about getting my period if I was expecting it because I got a negative pregnancy test. And I know that because the last time my husband said, no more pregnancy tests, don't do it. And then when I did get my period, especially because that cycle I had really felt like there was something going on. Turns out it must have just been food poisoning because I threw up for like 2 days, and Then after I got my period, my husband got it too, or I don't know, maybe it was a stomach bug. So I was way more disappointed. So I do allow myself to do that, but what I don't do is I don't tell anyone about it. I find that it's the last thing I want to talk about. Even if somebody's just sending me a text message, hey, how's it going? I don't want to tell them. Just because then I'm getting into my feelings. I can give them the facts. This is when my doctor's appointment is. When I start talking about how the Clomid makes me feel or how I'm just bummed out about it on any given day, you can sound really negative to some people. And I think then that's when they try and sweep in and say something that they think is going to be like a life-changing, helpful statement. And all it does is just make you feel like crap. So that's kind of how I've approached it up until now. And the few people who do know, I either had them asking way too many questions about when I'm having a baby, or just it got to a point where I had to kind of say, hey, just so you know. Or if they're just people who I felt I could give that information to and let them have it and know that, you know, if something's worth telling them, I'll tell them, but otherwise I don't want to discuss it. And I think that that saved me a lot of heartache and a lot of stress, because for a while, if someone did say something to me, and a lot of times it would be just like a text message or an email, like, hey, how's the fertility stuff going? It was really hard to talk about, especially with people who have kids or who aren't going through it and who really wouldn't understand. I go to dinner once or twice a month with my husband and his cousin and her husband, because they're kind of in the same boat as us and they are going through their own struggles. And it's just nice to talk to somebody else who's going through it. And I think that there's just this mutual understanding. There's no stressful questions, you know. Some people will automatically say, well, if this doesn't work, are you going to adopt? If it doesn't work, are you doing IVF? And I don't even like to think that far. I don't want to have to even, and how would I even know? How do I even know what's coming up, what's ahead for me? You know, there's no reason for me to have any of that lined up yet. That's just, those, in my opinion, those things start to feel like worst case scenario. And when I get to them, I'll be grateful that I have those options. But right now, that's not how I want this to happen. And thinking about all those things and piling those kinds of ideas in my head, I think that's really negative and it's really bad for me. So, you know, I don't see as many people as I used to. And part of that's, I'm not trying to hide from anybody. I'm trying to take better care of myself. You know, I'm trying to go to bed earlier, and because I'm such a night owl, I'm trying to go to bed earlier and get a really good night's sleep and just treat my body better. You know, I don't want to go out for drinks. I don't really drink anyway, but I don't want to go out for drinks and dinner with friends at 10 o'clock at night. I want to be in bed by then, you know? So my lifestyle's just changing. I'm just adapting to trying to care for my body better and just do what's right for me. So I don't know if that will help anyone, but you don't have to explain anything to anybody. Just make a video. If you want to talk about it, make a video or just send me an email. But that's just working for me right now. It just makes me feel a lot more calm about everything. And if there's something I really need to say, I guess you're going to hear about it, because this is where I talk about it. So hang in there, girls. We can do this.